looked up. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Have you looked up a store yet?
No, I haven't.
Apparently there's one in Karen.
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. We're going to gym at 7.
I'm gonna need a back massage. I still can't. Even if I like move it back, it hurts.
Okay. Audio. How are you? How are you? Where are they?
Perseus, today we reshape the world.
Yeah, thanks. You got it. Start it up.
Commencing exercise, injecting radar signals.
For decades, we fought to keep communist aggression in check. After 2 years in the shadows, Chatter's Perseus is about to make another move. We don't know where or when, but we know it'll be big.
Our motherland is led by cowards and weaklings. In time, the Americans and their NATO puppets will bring the Soviet Union to its knees. We will break this stalemate, then burn them both to the ground.
The Soviets claim Perseus is a rogue element, a threat to us all. Stay vigilant. They never tell the whole truth.
Launch control. Sir? Yes, sir. Code word launch authority is confirmed. Awaiting your go order.
They sleep soundly at night, knowing they put on a good parade. But they lack the will to do what must be done.
Our technology gives us an edge. We'll flush Perseus out and put him down.
fall, victims of their own greed and corruption. We will rebuild Greater Russia from the ashes.
We're hunting a monster. Forget the standard rules of engagement. If we're gonna stop them, we're gonna have to get our hands dirty.
Stand down. This concludes the exercise.
Perseus sends regards.
Hardcore team deathmatch. You're representing the company. Work clean, work fast. We're pulling ahead. This isn't working. We're behind. Enemy care package above. Hostile spy plane established overhead. Multiple enemy spy plane contacts.
Spy plane ready for tracking.
Enemy care package above.
Care package available.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
Spy plane commencing surveillance operation. Spy plane mission time block 50%.
We've pulled ahead. We've lost the lead.
Priority targeting.
Ah,
Spy plane exiting AO.
Enemy counter spy plane inbound.
ah, come on.
We're in the lead.
Ah,
We're losing this fight.
I'm playing, you need to go away.
Hostile spy plane established overhead. They're kicking our asses. Fight back, damn it. We've pulled ahead. Enemy spy plane inbound.
What was that?
We're losing the advantage. Pull the damn plug. Deconflict and move to exfil.
We're overrun. All teams, fall back.
Black Ops Cold War beta for PC is finally here, and I've figured out the best settings to increase FPS and visibility and beat the competition. Hey guys, it's Forrest Dave here. I'm finally back again with another video, and you guys probably guessed it, it's a settings video. I've been doing a lot of these recently. They've been doing really, really well for my channel, and they've been receiving really good feedback as well. Now, the Black Ops Cold War beta is finally here for PC. I'm really, really excited. I've been playing it a decent amount, and it feels really, really good on PC. Really well optimized, but there's definitely some settings that you can change to really get an advantage while getting that FPS high and keeping that visibility also high. So we're not just dropping everything there very low. I mean, obviously we will be dropping a lot of settings very low, but we'll be keeping some things on that will keep that visibility and keep you competitive in these games. So let's jump into these settings then. I'm going to start off before we go to the graphics, actually, what I was just mentioning. The mouse sensitivity in this game, it should be exactly the same as whatever you had in either Warzone or Modern Warfare, whichever. You might have only had Warzone as the multiplayer, but that transfers over 1-to-1 into here, so get that sensitivity in here straight away and make sure that your multipliers are set at 1 so that we keep that muscle memory intact as we play. And then make sure we've got things like mouse acceleration and mouse filtering definitely off, and mouse smoothing, none of that. Okay, now we can go into the graphics, the key part of this video. So display mode, this should always be full screen. The options we have are windowed full screen, and multi-monitor. Full screen will give you the highest FPS because it basically means that Windows is exclusively rendering in the game and not trying to render in kind of anything that's going on in the background, which for having. So give this a full screen for best performance. Monitor, you obviously set this to whatever monitor you have. I have 2 monitors, so I've got to make sure this is monitor. Refresh rate, make sure this is set the refresh monitor, so 124 Hz for me. Gameplay VSync and menu VSync, both of these should be off. If you're someone who does like to use G-Sync, then do not use in-game VSync. I say this with all my settings tutorials. There's some people out there who say put VSync on and then activate G-Sync, and that's how it works. That's not how it works. Instead, you have to cap the FPS and then activate your G-Sync afterwards. Videos on that if you want to know about it. I'm not going to go into it in this video. Render resolution, I've got this set, this should always be 100 basically, unless you're having some serious issues. My resolution is, display resolution is 2560 by 1440 or 1440p. For a lot of people this will probably be 1080p. And if you are having serious issues after all of these settings are set, then I would recommend trying to drop the render resolution just down a bit. Basically, if you were to set this to 50, then it would render at 50% of the resolution. So it would render for me at, it doesn't actually update for me, but it would be 50% of this, so half of the resolution, which is not what I want, but it can be a last resort if nothing else works. Aspect ratio, I would keep this at automatic, which should be 60 by 9 for most of you, unless you're wide, which should be 21 by 9, but you shouldn't be changing this anyway, just leave it up to. Colorblind type, this is kind of a personal preference thing, or potentially something you need. I'm actually colorblind myself, red-green colorblind specifically, and so I need to have this in deuteranopia, which is red-green colorblindness. But there will be a lot of people out there who will actually, it says here, or choose the color for each group of icons that suits you. So it's actually useful for people who just don't like the standard colors in the game. You can just change the color of what teammates and enemies look like. So scan through these and find what one suits you the best. Field of view, this is a kind of personal preference. I recommend always having this above 100. FOV is such a massive advantage in Call of Duty and any other FPS. They've added it to consoles now, which is awesome as well. I haven't been playing at 105. I might try to turn this up actually for a bit and see what happens if I put it to 120. The issue is that having higher values, as you see here, will actually result in lower frame rates sometimes because you're technically rendering more on your screen because you can see further wide apart. Also, enemies will be a lot smaller and kind of more distant, it will seem, if you have this too high. So 105 I think is a good medium and good starting point, which I think will be a really good for both of you guys to start that. ADS field of view, this was a contested point in Modern Warfare and Warzone as well, and a lot of people have moved to the affected one, which basically, so independence is aiming down sights will zoom the field of view to its intended value, and affected will zoom to a value closer to your field of view setting. This is actually really good. It doesn't zoom in as much, and the visual recoil that you'll get when shooting in game is a lot less, and you can actually control your recoil a lot more. When it comes to Warzone, this is also really, really important when you're doing some of those long-range engagements. So I'd recommend trying both of these out, seeing what one works for you, but affected is best for me. Brightness, this is just simple. Just set this to so that it follows these things. You'll actually see that this one, at the moment, you might see that this one I actually have a little bit visible. I always have my brightness is a little bit higher than it suggests. I just feel like that works best for me. Frame rate limit, I have this on custom, and this should actually be maxed, so I have my frame rate limit maxed out. You can set an in-game frame rate limit here, so potentially I could max to 144 if I wanted it to be, if I was doing desync, then I could have that on, which is good. To go above 144 or a bit lower, probably 140 for G-Sync. But for most of you guys who just want to max your FPS, just shove this all the way to the right. Menu custom frame rate limit, you may as well keep this at 60 or so. This keeps the frame rate in the menus kind of smooth enough to like get through. It doesn't feel choppy or anything. There's no point in menus having easy high frames because it's just going to eat up time. It's going to eat up your CPU sitting on the menu, which we don't want. There's no point. Okay, now we get into the details and texture settings. So texture quality, this is really dependent on VRAM. You'll see it says effect on VRAM is high. So dependent on how much VRAM your GPU has, mine has 8,011 megabytes. It's basically 8 gig of memory of VRAM. Then I can have this a bit higher. I kind of go between medium and high because texture quality doesn't actually have a huge effect on your FPS, assuming you have the right amount of VRAM. So if you have very low VRAM or you just want pure max FPS, you can drop it to lowest, but the game looks awful. Potentially when you're playing Warzone, you drop this to lowest, but for multiplayer, shove it on medium and make the game look a bit better and potentially be able to spot people easier from background objects. Texture filtering, I put this on low along with model quality and the screen space reflections and object views. These are all low because they're kind of additions to the game that I don't think are that important, and they just eat up FPS. They say effect on VRAM. Effect on VRAM is not the same as effect on FPS. So even if it says low effect on FPS, it will actually have a higher effect on the frame rate than you want. So have these on low, and then special effects, I just put them on medium. It's the quality of the resolution used for special effects. You don't need any of these higher than low if you're trying to make the game look really nice, which we're not looking for. We're looking for best performance and best visibility. Today's video is sponsored by ProSight, a PC application that gives players access to Counter-Strike style custom crosshairs in any PC game they want. The application comes with an easy-to-use interface, allowing players to customize their crosshair to any size, color, and style, save it as preset, and then take it into games like Warzone, Fortnite, and Sea of Thieves. More info on the app, centerpointgaming.com. Link in the next is shadow and lighting, a really, really important part. Shadow. Shadows are the bane of FPS. So I have the volumetric lighting turned to low and the shadow qualities are turned to low as well. These will eat up your FPS if you turn them up. And I think having them on low, it makes the shadows look a bit horrible, especially in the menus. You can see it horrible. If I go back and apply these, you can see the shadows on my character here look a bit crazy. But in game, you don't notice it that much, and it will give you lots of FPS. Dynamic shadows, I've actually kept these on all for now. This could be a point which I change later, but as you can see here, dynamic shadows are, a dynamic object is something like a person running around an enemy. And if an enemy's around a corner and they have a shadow on, I like to be able to see that shadow. So you can turn it to either disabled, self only, or all. I have it on all. Ideally, I would have it so that I didn't show myself, not because that covers it to any enemies or anything, it just mean that I don't have to render that in. I definitely want to see enemy shadows, so I shove this on all for that visibility bonus. Special effect shadows, definitely keep that on.
Yo Blasters, the toy taking Australia by...
What's good, hot peppers? Welcome to Black Ops Cold War. I'm going to be showing you guys a loadout that looks good on literally everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today, my friends, it is obviously a very exciting day if you're a Call of Duty fan. Black Ops Cold War is officially here now, and first and foremost, to kick off the year, we're going over the best settings you can use to make your game look the best, to make it feel the best, and to give you, I guess, like the best overall experience. Now, do keep in mind that settings are going to differ a bit depending on what platform you're playing on. Obviously, PC has a lot more customization when it comes to your graphics. You can have things like high, medium, low, all those different presets, and that really comes down to your specific PC or your rig that you're playing on. There's not really, I guess, a best setting for a lot of stuff like that, but a lot of the general stuff we can go over here today and give you guys the absolute best of the best and what you should be using right as you log on to Black Ops Cold War. So if you enjoy the video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, or if you're a part of these 60% of viewers who are watching but aren't already subscribed, we're gonna have a ton of awesome content going up all year long for Black Ops Cold War. So if you want to stay up to date with pretty much everything going on in COD, this is the place to be. So feel free to subscribe and maybe even turn on those post notifications. Also, tomorrow, the official Immortal Shaker Cup, my custom G Fuel Shaker Cup, is launching for everyone. Right now, you can actually sign up for early access if you want to guarantee yourself one. So that link will be down in the description below. But other than that, let's get into the best settings for Cold War. All right, so whenever you actually end up logging onto the game, first things first, head on over into the settings. You'll select your input device, either controller or keyboard. Obviously, keyboard and mouse, you can pretty much rebind everything to your liking. Controller, though, is what we're going to focus on here first and foremost. As far as sensitivity goes, because this is a boots on the ground game, I like to have more of a medium
just gonna pick one of these presets.
Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy John, aka Spears here, and in today's YouTube video, I'm gonna be going over all of the settings that you guys are gonna want to change before.
Hey buddy, what's going on?
There are some new settings in this game that have not been available to everybody in the past, especially if you are on console. So I want to go ahead and take some time, not only go over all of those and my personal, but I just want to go ahead and make sure everybody's up to speed and up to date, because there are some settings in here that if you change, your gameplay is going to go through the roof. It's going to make it a lot easier to play the game. Guns will have less recoil, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to be going over it in this video. So if you guys have not already dropped an early like on it, I would very much appreciate that. If you guys find any kind of value, or if this helps you guys at all, I'd very much appreciate it if you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you again to Activision for letting me get the game early and letting me play it. I played for 3 hours today with these settings, messed around with all the settings. If you guys didn't already know, I do stream here on YouTube, and I also stream on Twitch. So if you guys want to watch, me grind camos, I'm going to be going for Dark Matter in this game. I already have the MP5 pretty much already gold, so we're well underway on that. Again, if you guys find this helpful at all, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel. I'm gonna have a lot more Cold War tip videos coming out for you guys. Without further ado, guys, let's get into these settings. All right, guys, so the first secret setting inside of Cold War that you guys are going to want to go ahead and make sure you guys have changed is in the graphic settings, your field of view. Now, this setting is something that is very, very helpful. As you guys can see, my game is pretty zoomed in. My character looks like he's running kind of slow. The sliding doesn't seem very intuitive, all that kind of stuff. But what we can go ahead and do is go ahead and turn up the field of view. As you guys can kind of see in the background, it's zooming out my character. Most players play on 100 field of view. You can already tell already that this is significantly more zoomed out than it was before. My character looks as if he's moving faster and sliding faster. Me personally, I play on 120 field of view, which is the furthest out, so it looks like I'm moving the fastest. Again, this does not actually change the speed of your character. I would like to note that this is simply just for looks. I'm going along the same theme with the field of view. In that tab, you guys have independent and affected. So basically, this is when your ADS. This is your ADS field of view. So on independent, you can see it zooms my character in significantly from what it was before. On 120 to that, it zooms you in a lot, gets you really close to the gun. It basically just takes it so when your ADS, your field of view is actually on 80. Whereas when you guys are playing on a higher field of view, it takes away recoil from the gun. So just to show you guys, so when you're on affected, you see it doesn't zoom in on the gun nearly as much. Makes it seem as if my character is actually further away, so therefore it actually takes away visual recoil. So just to show you guys real quick, we're gonna go on independent. We're gonna go ahead and just crank it back down to 80, which is the default. Well, 79, close enough. Trying to control the recoil here. You can see it's bouncing around a lot. The bullet spread's not very tight. But what you guys can do is when you guys turn up your field of view, again, you don't have to play on 120. Most players play on 100. I play on 120. Change it to affected. So the gun does not seem like it has as much recoil. You can see the bullet spread is a lot tighter there compared to that. It's because the visual recoil isn't as drastic. So it's basically taking the recoil away from your guns. This is going to be one of the first settings, if not the first setting, I recommend you guys change as soon as you boot up Cold War. The next setting that you guys are going to want to change, and this is going to make it easier to spot enemies on the game. This is something that a lot of people don't know and or don't do. This is completely new to Cold War. When you guys go into the settings, go into your graphics, go into your colorblind mode. In here, you guys can actually change how people show up on the minimap. As you guys can see over on the right, we have an example. It shows you as yellow, allies as blue, enemies as kind of this, faint orange. It doesn't really pop that much. There's no red. But what you guys can do to make it so that way it pops a lot more and it's a lot easier to spot who's enemies and who's friendlies. You guys can go ahead up to the colorblind type. You guys can mess around and see which ones have the brightest. In my opinion, the Tritanopia has the brightest. And for your enemy color, I recommend going all the way to the right and changing it to the pink. As you guys can see, it's just ever so slightly more vivid and just a lot easier to see. It just pops a little bit more, and I really do recommend it. It makes it a lot easier to spot enemies because above their head they have the names and everything like that. So the next setting that you guys are going to want to change is your stick sensitivity. Basically going into the settings, it's one of the first things that you'll be able to change. This game, the max sensitivity is 14.
My balls will thank you. The Lawnmower 3.0. Now, everybody online say that this.
So, what's up, guys? It's Terry here by Needle Orb. YG Black Ops Cold War is finally freaking out, and I have the best PC settings for you guys to use if you're going to be playing on PC. Some of these settings can be applied to PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X, But today we'll mostly focus on PC. However, do watch the video in case there are some overlaying layers when it comes between PC and the consoles. So you guys stay tuned by making sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, turning on those post notifications. I'm excited to start playing on PC a little bit more. Maybe. I don't know. I'm still gonna be using my PS5 mainly, but I do want to try PC and see how I feel about this year, deciding what to make. Anyways, this is gonna help you have the best frames in the game, can help you, ensure the best graphics. Pretty much just ensure that your experience on Black Ops Cold War will be what we prioritize. Anyways, with your hardware here, pretty much I keep a lot of these things the same. Full screen, monitor refresh rate should be the highest you can. Gameplay VSync and menu VSync should be off, in my opinion. This pretty much lets your frames go up. Render resolution, I just keep it at 100. You don't really want to mess with that. 1920 by 1080 for the monitor I'm using. Aspect ratio should just be automatic. They pretty much know how to change the aspect ratio, so keep it automatic. You don't really change that. This is where things get kind of interesting. Colorblind type you want to keep disabled, unless you really are colorblind, you can obviously change whatever you want. And now field of view. This is our first important factor setting. I keep it at 100. Yeah, sure, you can max it out at 120 and go crazy. However, your frames will go down. If you keep it at 100, your frames they're pretty much high enough. They're higher than they would be. I've been playing on the 120 frame or 120 field of view in my frame.
Looking worse than the last time. Hard finding the time to do anything for myself. Leave them alone for now. Just relax.
Go down, and when I play at 100, it pretty much stabilizes to a consistent. You don't want to experience any sort of frame lag, so I would recommend 100 unless you have a super high-end PC with the 3080 or whatever, and then go for it. But I'm gonna keep mine at 100. This is my personal preference, and I used to get that advantage. Now, ADS field of view, I highly recommend you have it on independent, because if you're having your field of view way higher, then when you ADS with affected, your field of view is a lot farther. And when you ADS, you want to be a lot more closer to your. By having it independent, the actual, you're going to be aiming a lot more closer to your enemy, especially if they're farther away. This helps you, pretty much having it on independent helps you track longer range opponents. I highly recommend that you guys keep to that independent. Next we got brightness. I mean, the brightness should be around 56. That's where I have it at. Let me know what you guys' brightness is. Frame limit should be unlimited. Just let the frame rate pretty much go up and down. As the... Next up we got so this is really important right here. The details and textures. Yeah, it's really nice to see everything really graphically high. Like you can put all these to high or whatever the case is. Really see the greatness. However, as you guys can see, I had mine all on medium, and even then, I would recommend having it on low. If you're having it on the lowest graphical settings, the game still looks pretty good when compared to consoles, especially last gen. But more importantly, your frames will go even higher because your computer isn't going to have to take the firepower out of it to pretty much output these beautiful freaking the beautiful effects of this game. If you keep everything on low/medium, you're pretty much going to maximize as much as possible. If you have that advantage, then take full advantage. Next, what I have here,
Team deathmatch.
Volumetric lighting low, or you can be medium.
Weapons free. You are clear to engage.
Disable shadows. Yeah, just disable all shadows because that once again takes into firepower. And then this is pretty much the only kind of thing. I can have it enabled at normal or boosted. I think boosted would help be helpful, but I just kept it on. You can try it on boosted and see.
won't miss out on 30 to 44,000
Enemy sniper working.
It's not just that. It's a Henley.
When you want to update your home air conditioning, you want air with smart automation. Air that's quiet. And air that saves energy. A lot of it. Isn't it?
Oh my god.
Mitsubishi Electric.
I like that
Works
car.
for me.
Ultra anti-aliasing quality. It's got an ultra. Everything else is already low. So we have that on. Motion blur. You need to have motion blur on. Do not have motion blur on because having motion blur on will actually disadvantage you as you move left and right. So just do disable. That's the best thing to do. Subsurface scattering. I mean, you can keep that enabled. Once again, you keep that disabled as well. Order independent transference. I don't understand this because it says advanced. I don't
Hostile spy plane established overhead. This isn't working. We're behind.
Let me know how you guys feel about these graphics settings. It helps you just remember baselining. Keep everything low so that your frame rate can be maxed as much as possible. Field of view can be a little bit lower, but it can also be super, super high, obviously because you want to have this advantage and try to see where people are peripheral of your vision. Yeah, you guys enjoyed at least the graphics. We're going over audio and
Enemy
other
appears
settings
KIA.
Music volume should be low. You want to keep it low because music doesn't really play for you.
Fucking need snakes for that. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Sound effects volume should be all the way at 100 because sound effects should be all the way to 100 because that's where you're going to hear the footsteps, the call outs, everything that you want to hear about, you know, in
Enemy sentry turret detected in your AO.
Oh, hello.
Dialogue volume should be at pretty much whatever you want it to be. I would keep it a little bit lower, like 50, 40-ish, just because you want to have to make sure the audio high boost. Bass boost is also really good too. I've been experimenting with both, but
Hostile spy plane established overhead.
Sound that enabled it helps me personally.
Multiple
chat enabled, party chat, push to talk is nice, none of this really matters. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's all personal preference, that's what I'm saying. This, you want to keep my advice for these, because you want to make sure you hear the footsteps, you hear those bases. So even then, maybe bass let me know. Next up, when it comes to interface here, I like to use subtitles because it helps me instead of hearing them, so these are my second subtitles. And when it comes to very things, so I want to have as much stuff on my screen as possible so that I can analyze, have as much info on the enemy as I can. Next up here, telemetry stuff. I just don't scanning the voice curious. My frames are.
Enemy spy plane inbound.
My frames are right now in the main menus. The main menus are at 60 frames. But in game it goes up to like 150 to wherever the case is. And yeah, so unfortunately, as you guys can see, we go between keyboard and mouse or controller. I play on my PS4 controller, unfortunately, so if you guys are keyboard and mouse players, if I decide to learn keyboard and mouse this year, I will do a keyboard and mouse like keybind video, but this is for controller on PC. And just keep in mind that this works for console as well. So my input device is a controller.
Hostile care package inbound.
Because it's not too fast, it's not too slow, it's just the right speed. It allows me to turn on really, really nice.
Oh my god.
Because it allows me to keep my stickiness on opponents, while as with snipers, it allows me to fast. The layout should be bumper jumper tactical.
Vito, let's go to kill.
I will jump towards L4, I will shoot with L1 and R1, and I can pretty much drop shot with my arm. This allows me to like the L2 button. I can play like this since like Black Ops 3 on PS4. And it's been really, really I keep defaulting. Behavior should be on go to. If you have it on.
Hostile spy plane established overhead.
Intercom, establish spy plane overplay.
Hostile care package inbound. Hostile helicopter inbound. Hostile spy plane established overhead.
Give me a spy plane.
Hostile sentry turret active.
Can you hear me now? Oh my god, there's a teammate right there! Come on! Yeah, I'm okay. People have been grinding this with early access and you have to play against them, so they've leveled up their guns already. Frustrating. Oh my god. How did I lose that?
Hi, Mommy. I pulled out the plug. No, stop. Yes, they are. Leave them alone. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Get it. Like that little plate.
Ah. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck, they're at 17 already. That's crazy. Oh, tactical. Ah. This gun's are lasering me. Ah. Why did he go off the minimap? Let's say what he had. Ah! An AK-47, okay. Oh my god. Why are we all camping in here? Ow, ow. Can someone shoot that fucking thing down, man? How does he have so much control on it? Really? Well, second. Fuck. I don't have it, I don't think. I don't have it. Oh my god. All got ghost on. That's fucked. Ah, oh, fuck off. I was so far away from that. Of course it landed right near me. That was a stun, fuck. Oh my god! How can you not shoot them? What is it? The other one. Oh, fucking G. Oh my god. Fuck, that's not what I wanted to do. I can't hit anything.
Loki's on the free outside hallway, buddy.